Welcome to Spending Time with Juliette, a program featuring in-depth interviews with gospel artists, songwriters, authors, and musicians who inspire and uplift God through their work. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We are so blessed to have you here with us. And again, keep God first and always trust in God. God is good all the time.
Welcome to Spending Time with Juliette. I have an amazing artist on the line. Amazing artist. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Travell Richardson, and I am an artist / producer.
Now, how long have you been an artist? When did you first start rapping? How old are you?
I started rapping, to be honest, like maybe 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago?
Yes, ma'am. But I've always been a singer. I've been singing since I was like 5.
Okay, so what inspired you 3 years ago to take this leap into doing raps? What happened?
To be honest, so it's part of my testimony. I done had 3 surgeries on my vocal cords.
Oh my goodness.
So I wasn't thinking my voice was good enough to sing anymore because I didn't have the voice that I used to have.
Oh.
So around that time I was like, well, I got to do something because God gave me a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed about it, and God led me to rap. So that's why I've been rapping. But I'm also back to singing also.
You sound a little hoarse today, though. So what do you do for
That's my voice. It goes in and out.
Really? So what, you have to do like a special exercise or something to keep your vocals loose? Or what do you have to do?
Yes, ma'am, I have to do some exercises, for warm-up exercises before I sing.
Mm-hmm.
I also, have to start drinking a lot of water to keep my vocal cords, like, moist and hydrated and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Now, how do you come up with your raps? What inspires you to do a rap? Do you go to the Bible or do you listen to a beat?
I pray about everything.
You pray about it?
I pray about everything. Since I make my own beats, I have a lot of beats. And, I listen to the beats. And then the hook usually comes first. And then, I pray over it and then the words will come out.
Now, you also are a musician. You play drums. Now, I found out you played drums when you was 4 years old. How did that happen? You couldn't even read and write. How you playing drums?
Yes, ma'am. I started playing drums by the age of 4. Of course, I started in the house on some pots and pans, like always.
Mm-hmm.
But I always had the passion and I always had the rhythm. And about 6 or 7, I started playing at my church.
Now, now I
also play the keys and the bass.
Now, did you have any lessons for drums, or you just learned by playing your pots and your pans?
I just learned by playing my pots and my pans. I never had drum lessons.
Really? It just came natural for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, playing drums is not an easy task. Now, how do you stay sharp when you're playing your drums? Because you got to stay upbeat and stay current. How do you keep current with the current, different sounds that's out there?
I just listen to, like, all kind of music, but I just listen to music. And, however I feel like that's how I praise God the best while I'm playing the drums. And that's what I'm doing. I call myself beating the devil head in. So I enjoy that.
Okay, I like that. You beating the devil's head in with them sticks, that wood.
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me, what is your favorite drum solo you ever had?
Probably back in the days when it was Rain on Us. By John P. Key, how the drum solo. I never played that before. I just like it.
Now, what's your favorite drum solo? I'm sorry.
My favorite drum solo is, I'm pretty sure you heard it. John P. Key used to have a song back in the days called Rain on Us.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to, the drum, he got a part where the drums just go off and does it by itself. And, I like that. And I used to do that back in the days.
Okay.
So that was my favorite drum solo.
Now tell me, what is your biggest strength as a drummer? What do you think your biggest strength is?
My biggest strength as a drummer is just keeping the beat. I'm what they call a pocket drummer. So I always stay in the pocket. I'm always in the snare. I don't do too much extra stuff, but I keep the flow of the church going.
So you play, do you still play drums for the church?
Actually, right now, I mostly play the piano at my church.
Now, you learn how to play the piano without any lessons? Without lessons?
Yes, ma'am. I taught myself.
Now, how did you do that?
YouTube is a great thing.
Really?
I always was kind of familiar, and I always picked up certain things when I was growing up about the keyboard, about the keys. So when I got older, maybe about, I'd say a good 6-7 years ago, I really dedicated myself to learning how to play. And from YouTube videos to just watching people around me, my nephew play, so I watched him. He gave me tips and taps and stuff like that. And that's how I learned.
Wow. That's amazing. And now you play for a church and you learned on YouTube how to play the piano. Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you also sing. Now, you started singing when you were little with your mom?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My mom it was me, my mom, and my sister. We had a group called the BW Singers, which was the Bible Way, which was the name of our church. Mm-hmm. And I started when I was like 4, leading songs. Wait. Different little churches.
Back up.
In California.
Wait a minute. How you gonna lead a song you can't even read and write? You didn't even hardly know your name. Come on. How did that happen?
It's a talent. It's a talent and a blessing that the Lord blessed my family. On my mom's side, that like my mom's son, my grandfather's son, my grandma. So it was
all in the family. All in the family, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God! Now tell me, do you have any advice for anybody who wants to be a drummer? How do they go about doing it? You have any advice for someone? Someone inspiring to be a drummer?
Yes, ma'am. No matter what, just keep going. Keep going and keep praying. And the Lord will give you everything you need. Lessons is good. Find somebody who's willing to teach you if you can't really afford lessons. And just sit and watch. And the beats will come natural.
Not for everybody. Now, come on, don't say that. Because you just was born with this gift. Come on. If you don't have it, you don't have it. They got to practice, get some lessons.
Just keep practicing. You'll be able to keep some tunes of the songs.
Now, you are also a CEO of your own company. Tell me about that.
Yes, ma'am. I started Beats by the One Productions about 4 years ago. I started it just for my family. So just so we can have a way to put out music and produce, so I can produce the music and go out. I stopped that for a minute because everybody that was on that label or under me wasn't safe. And they wasn't living right. So I had to stop it. because the Lord put in my heart to do nothing but gospel.
Oh.
So I quit the label. I stopped the label, really. I joined another label, which was Inspirational Substance. But now I'm back on my own label doing God's work.
Now tell me, how did you start making beats?
I went to school for audio production. I went to Full Sail University, and they had a class on beats. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I played the drums, so beats kind of came natural.
Anyway,
So I just took what I learned from Full Sail and what I already knew from the beats and the keyboard and the bass and just put it all together and start making beats.
Now, what is your favorite kind of beat to make? Do you like old school beats, or do you like the new kind of beats? What do you like?
I like a lot of melody.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of beats of mine, you hear like singing in the background or anything with like organ, something like that, because, I love the organ. So I try to put a lot of organ in a lot of my beats. So anything like with melody and organ, that's my go-to.
Now, do you use like a system, or do you literally play instruments? Each instrument?
I do both.
Wow. So what do you prefer more? Do you prefer doing your own, each individual beat, drums or guitar and then piano, or do you like getting it from like a system?
I like both. It just depends on how long I want to spend on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do each individual one, it's going to take me a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't, then if I just use what's out there, then it's quicker. But I like the long process because now I have my nephew. He's part of Beats by the One Productions, and he plays the keys. So then we work together, and we get the music done.
So, do you do y'all do like old school stuff like what they, I grew up listening to old school quartet music, and that's still my favorite. Even though I don't sing quartet at all, that's still one of my favorite kinds of music.
That's what I grew up on. Like I said, my grandpa, he used to sing quartet, and we from California, so every Saturday, every Sunday, we'll be at some kind of quartet concert that he done took us to.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up on quartet, but to answer your question, yeah, we do all kind of music. It could be old school, it could be new school, it could be rap, it could be worship, it could be what they call war cries now in church. It could be battle cry.
Wow.
We do it all.
Now, what is your favorite though? What is your favorite type of beat to make? Your very favorite?
My favorite. I never really thought about it. I like it all. And pretend like I said, what kind of move I'm in. But beat wise, like I said, anything that got an organ in it and melody, that's my go-to.
Now, does it take a long time to create something like this?
Sometimes it does. Especially if you're doing it for a particular artist that wanted a particular kind of way, it takes time.
Now, if someone wanted to purchase any of your beats, how would they go about doing that?
Either they can go to my website, which is TravellRichardson.org, or they can hit me up on my website, which is Beats by the One. They can email me, which is beatsbytheone@gmail.com. Hit me up on any social media, which is Travell Richardson. They can get to me and just ask me, and we can talk about it. And I can do anything that they need.
Any kind of, I didn't even know that. I'm gonna be hitting you up. Yes, I like beats. That's what I listen to. Beats. I don't really listen to words to songs. I kind of listen to beats. Now tell me, are you also a songwriter?
Yes, I write all my music. I write all my songs. I really ain't wrote for nobody else, but I do write all my songs.
Now, where do you get your songs from? Do they come from somewhere deep inside of you, or do you go to the Bible? Where do you get these songs from?
It's a little of both. Some comes, as I would say, straight from the heart, from stuff I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And then others come from the Word. If, I always believe if you study up in the Word. Well, for me, if I say study up in the Word, then, things will come from that. So it comes from both.
Oh, okay. So now, when did you first write your first song? And what inspired you to write it?
I wrote my first song maybe 2 years ago, and it was called My Real Superhero. When I worked my first verse on that, it came from one of my dad's messages, because my dad's a preacher.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me. I didn't see nowhere where you was a PK. Is that a secret or something? Because I didn't see nowhere where you mentioned that.
No, ma'am. It's not a secret. I am a PK.
Wow, that you should. Now tell me about being a preacher's kid. Now, did that add more pressure on you to be, do something in the church, like make music or sing or even preach? So did that put pressure on you being the PK?
No, not really. My dad never forced me to do anything. It was, and I'm also, my grandpa was a pastor, so when I was younger, then it was so forceful. Then everything was like forced in, or I thought it was forced, but it was just them trying to keep me in the right way.
Okay.
So then I thought it was, but it really wasn't. But nah, I do it because I love it. I love to sing. I've been singing in different choirs when I was in California. I sang in the state youth choir, which we travel all around the California and the West Coast and sung. Did different church events, had concerts with some of the Clark sisters and Julie McAllister and Kurt Carr and all that kind of stuff. So singing, like I said, singing been in my blood. I've been doing it forever.
Oh my God, it's a lot to Mr. Trevell Richardson.
Yes,
that he didn't even put on his bio, you guys. He did not say he was a PK, and he did. I did find out that he was in like famous choirs, but I didn't know how big of choirs these were. These were some fantastic people. Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did you ever think about being a minister?
No.
Never? Oh, you said that so quick and with conviction. Why you laughing?
No, man.
Why you laughing? That said struck as funny to you. Why you laughing, Trevell? Why you laughing?
That's not my calling. As of yet.
Okay, never say never. We don't know what God got planned for you.
Man, that's true. That's why I said not yet.
Now tell me, if you could perform with anybody, who would you be performing with?
Hands down, John P. Key.
Why John P. Key? Why him?
He's always been my favorite artist.
Now,
from the get-go, from when I was growing up.
So would you?
I just love him even to the day. I don't care about the rapping. I want to sing with John P. Key.
You said don't even ask me if I'm gonna rap. You just want to sing with the man.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one though. That's a good one. Now, as far as advice, do you have any advice for anyone that's trying to do what you do? You're doing a lot. You got a lot of hats. You play music, and this was a gift from God because you did go to school for the beats, but that was already in you. The beat, you already had the sound. You just had to find a way to put it all together. The sounds were already there. So, do you have any advice for anybody that wants to make beats for a living? Because I'm sure that's not easy.
No, just like YouTube is everybody's best friend now. Because YouTube will tell you everything that you need to know about making beats and all the stuff that you need. And it's more convenient now than than it ever been.
Why is that?
So I just say, because it's a lot of apps out there that help you make beats. It's a lot of apps that's free that help you make beats and do different things and learn. And just different things and learn. And I just tell people never stop learning. Because I'm 46. And I've just been rapping for 3 years. So I started at 43.
Wow.
So I never stopped learning. I never stopped. Well, there was a time I wanted to give up. But never give up on what you want to do and always seek God for what you want to do.
Now, do you want to elaborate on what made you want to stop? You want to talk about that?
What made me want to stop was my voice. I didn't feel like I had the strength to sing, and going through so many surgeries, it more was a hindrance because what it was kept coming back. But then I had to stop myself and believe God that no matter how I sound, God was going to use my sound for His glory. And I couldn't not do what God has put into me because of me. Because I was thinking that I wasn't worthy enough. So once I decided to give all that to God and do what God wanted me to do, I have no problems.
Amen.
Because my singing voice is not my talking voice.
That's amazing. Don't you think that when you sing, you don't even have that struggle that you have when you're talking? That's God right there. That's Him right there. And I'm glad you didn't give up. I'm glad you didn't give up. Because that's how only was the devil trying to make you think that, you know? God didn't give you this gift for no reason. He gave it for each of us to use. Now, everybody ain't no singer. Everybody can't rap and they trying to, but, but you some people are, but you have to figure that for yourself. Do you have any advice for any person that's struggling that, think they're not good enough and how to overcome that?
Yeah, just keep going, keep learning, keep trying to build on your craft of what you believe that you can do. Like I said, but you never want to leave God out of nothing.
Yes.
And you keep hearing me say that because God will lead you and guide you to where you need to go and what you need to do and how to do what you need to do. And that's all I've been doing is believing God. So that's my advice to anybody. Just continue to learn. Don't be scared of criticism because all criticism ain't bad. So don't be scared of criticism. Don't be scared of, if you do this might sound better. Don't be scared of that because sometimes all that's doing is helping you become what God wants you to be. And if you reject that criticism, then you're kind of rejecting God because God probably put that in that person to tell you.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. That criticism could be something from God. I never thought about that. That's some good advice. Wow. I like the way you put that out there like that because I never took it as that. Because you know what? A lot of time as artists, especially independent artists and people that do different things like rapping or do, this new contemporary stuff, there is a lot of pushback. It's like the doors are like closed on certain things. Mm-hmm. Have you faced that? And if you have, how have you overcome it?
Yes, ma'am, I've faced it. Of course, like I said, like my dad's a pastor. He really don't listen to rap. Mm-hmm. But for me, I don't say for me, but he allowed me to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when he sees that his son is happy doing what God told him to do, then he can't do nothing but join in. So when people who's living right see that it's God in you that's leading you to do certain things, then they'll be like, okay, that's what he's supposed to do, and I gotta accept that.
Good advice. You know what? You give some great advice. You thought about this. Wow, you give some good advice, because it is so hard out here, especially for the independent artists. And like you said, you got to believe in yourself. Keep going no matter what the criticism. And like you said, God may have sent that person to say, that may be the push you needed to do. Keep going with what you're doing. Now, we are about to listen to one of your songs now. Hold on 1 second while
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Christ walk, we doing that. Christ walk, we doing that. Christ walk, we doing that. Christ walk, let's go. I'm doing that Christ walk every single day. I'm putting God before man every single day. Reading my word like no other. Now I'm here to tell my story. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was fornicating. I was out here in the world doing my own thing. Got thrown in the pen, never did real time. But my God is truly deep. He saved the sinner just like me. Now I got the victory. Y'all out here see walking and be walking, but I'm out here. I'm Christ walking like Christ walk. We doing that Christ walk. We doing that Christ walk. We doing that Christ walk. Let's go. Sun rising blazing, heart thumping loud. Another day to shout his name to the crowd. No more shadow, no more chains holding me down. I'm stepping forward and I'm wearing Jesus' crown. I'm on a Christ walk, yeah, and that's the only way. I'm leaving the darkness for a brand new day. His light is shining, guiding every stride. With Jesus on my side, I'm ready to ride. I'm on a Christ walk, yeah, that's the only way. Leaving the darkness for a brand new day. With Jesus on my side, I'm ready to ride. Oh my God! Christ walk, we doing that. Christ walk, we doing that. Christ walk, we doing that. Christ walk. Let's go! I used to stumble, falling in the dust, lost and lonely, fell in selfish lust. But he reached down, lift me up high, walking with purpose now, reaching to the sky. Every step I take ain't testimonies are true. The power and the glory, breaking through and through. He's my strength and he's my shield. Now I'm out here, Christ walking like Christ walk. We doing that Christ walk. We doing that Christ walk. We doing that Christ walk. Let's go.
it up. Oh, I like that song. Christ Walk? Oh, yeah. I like that one. Now, tell me, where can people find your music?
My music is on all platforms, all digital platforms. It's on Bandcamp. It's on my website. If you go to my website, you can actually purchase the CD there.
Give the people your website again.
My website is Travale Richardson, which is TravaleRichardson.org.
Okay, Travale, do you have any final words or words of encouragement that you want to give to people out there that's trying to do what you're doing?
Yes, ma'am. Just never give up and always believe on God, and He will direct your path. Also, I'm with a podcast, Exclusive Life Radio. So if y'all not doing anything, every Saturday at the end of the month, we'll be on YouTube, Facebook at Exclusive Life, playing nothing but exclusive music. Come out and join us and have fun.
Okay. Thank you so much for spending some time with Juliette.
Get the invite, ma'am. So the name of the book is called If God. Is on Amazon. I wrote it like 2019, I believe.
So Travell just told me he has a book. What's the name of your book, Travell?
It's called If God.
And you can find this book where?
On Amazon.
Now, what is this book about?
Basically, it's scenarios. And it's like, if God came to your house, you know, like, if God came to your house and you would listen to worldly music, would you let him in? It makes you, a lot of the stuff makes you think of what you're supposed to be doing. Would you do that if God was right there with you?
Oh, I like that book. I'm going to have to get that one so I can read, because that's a good question. Would we be doing half the stuff we doing if God was sitting right next to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Travell, it has been a pleasure having you here. This man is multi-talented, you guys. He got his own company. He make beats. He just started rapping, and he's very good. He's been singing all his life. He's a drummer. He plays. Is it the bass guitar or the lead? Which?
Yes, I play the bass guitar and the keys.
And the keys. He's a multi-talented person. And if y'all looking for some beats, look him up. He got you. So thank you again for spending some time with Juliette Travell.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I really had fun.
All right.
Thank you for tuning into my program. I hope you join us again next week. So enjoy your morning, your afternoon, or your evening. And again, keep God first, and God is good all the time. See you again.